All right, let's get right into it. I want to start with a question, a pretty big one that's really at the heart of everything we're talking about today, and it's all about how you see the world.
So, we all get this, right? You put on a pair of glasses and a blurry world suddenly snaps into focus. It's simple, but the idea we're exploring today, it goes so much deeper. What if that technology wasn't just about making things clearer, but about changing your consciousness?
And boom, that's the real question. We're not talking about fixing whether you can see far away or up close. We're talking about a tool for fixing our blind spots. It's a psychological tool called the 6 Stages Framework, and it helps us see the social patterns, the systemic stuff that is so often hidden right in front of us.
So where on earth did an idea like this come from? Well, like a lot of brilliant ideas, it didn't start in a lab. It started with a conversation. It all began with Dr. Shungu Magadza and Dr. Colin Gordon. They were just talking, trying to figure out how to apply their 6 Stages Framework, which is basically a map for understanding how people react to diversity to just, everyday life. And that's when this incredible metaphor just clicked. So, Dr. Magadza recalls that Dr. Gordon, he points to his own glasses. He's talking about how he's going to get smart glasses soon. But then he says, just imagine, what if everyone wore 6 Stages Framework lenses? Lenses designed for equity that could help us see the world with so much more clarity and compassion. And that idea? That's what we're unpacking today.
Now, to really get this, we have to break down the difference between the two types of glasses that sparked this whole thing. This distinction, it's the foundation for the entire metaphor, so stick with me.
Okay, so what we're looking at here is a fundamental split. On one side, you've got your standard prescription glasses. Their entire job is correction. It's a passive, static piece of glass that just fixes a physical problem with your eye. But on the other side, you've got smart glasses. Their job is totally different. It's augmentation. They actively, dynamically overlay brand new information onto the world you're already seeing.
So let's boil that down. Correction is about fixing what's blurry. Augmentation is about adding a whole new layer of data on top of what you can already see. One is a fix, the other is an enhancement. Remember that difference, because it's about to become really important.
All right, so how does this tech analogy translate into a psychological tool? This, my friends, is where the metaphor truly comes to life.
So think of step 1 as just putting on a regular pair of glasses. The SSF lens, at its most basic level, helps you correct for your own personal biases. It's about moving from your own distorted view toward just simple clarity. You're finally starting to see the world as it actually is, not just how you've always assumed it to be.
Now let's upgrade to the smart glasses. This is where the SSF lens starts to feel like a superpower. It's not just about seeing clearly anymore. Now you're actively overlaying your reality with data about power structures, systems, and social dynamics.
And here it is, the final form, the SSF Smart Lens. It doesn't just augment your sight, it augments your insight. It actively helps you interpret, flag, and question what you're seeing, making those invisible patterns of inequity and exclusion suddenly pop into view.
So here's the bottom line. The SSF lens is a mental model. It's powered by the 6 Stages Framework, which maps out a whole spectrum of behaviors from, say, active resistance to diversity at the negative stages, all the way to proactively championing inclusion at the positive stages. The lens just helps you see where any given action or policy actually falls on that spectrum. Okay, this all sounds really cool in theory, right? But what does it actually look like when you use it? How do you put on these lenses? Let's get practical.
Well, wearing the lens means you immediately start asking better, sharper questions. Instead of just passively accepting a situation, you start analyzing it. You ask, wait a minute, whose voice isn't here? Who has the power in this situation? Whose experience is being prioritized? And whose is being completely ignored or even erased? You see? These questions change everything.
Let's walk through a quick example. So you see a headline like this. Without the lens, you might just see it as a normal policy debate. But you put the lens on, and you immediately recognize this as stage -2 resistance, a defensive move from the framework that often hides bias behind words like balance or neutrality. That recognition prompts you to ask those deeper questions. Who's being silenced here, and whose discomfort is being protected? From there, you can actually envision a stage +3 solution, a stage of proactive equity, where policies are created with diverse communities, not for them. You see how the lens just turns you from a passive observer into an active analyst? And what's amazing is how widely you can apply this. Dr. Gordon used this exact thinking on a religious leaflet that was left at his door. He just asked, was this created with me in mind? Was I included in this? It works on the huge national policy level and on the super small personal level.
So, what happens if this isn't just a private tool for individuals? What if it becomes the new normal for all of society? Let's zoom out and look at that big, beautiful picture.
This is it. This is the ultimate vision. It's a future where seeing the world through a lens of equity isn't some special skill you have to learn. It's just the default. It's the standard way we all perceive the world. We're talking about a massive shift in our collective consciousness.
I mean, just imagine a world where these are totally normal questions. In a work meeting, someone might ask, hey, are you wearing your SSF lenses today? Or at home, how did that look through the framework? It would create this shared language for keeping each other accountable, for supporting each other and seeing things more clearly.
And that question, it really gets to the core of it all. The whole point of the SSF lens isn't just to spot problems, it's to completely redefine what it means to see clearly. True clarity isn't just about sharp vision, it's about inclusive perception.
And so we're going to end right back where we started, with a question for you. Right now, look around. Your screen, your office, your social media feed. Put on the lens. What patterns do you see? Who is being centered? And what becomes visible to you now that was completely invisible just a few minutes ago? Because here's the thing, once you see it, you can't unsee it.